Hello, I'm Dalton Potter of the Potter Violin Company, and I'm here today to show you how to put a rubber mute on your violin. During the course of playing a piece of music, often the conductor of the orchestra will ask for a certain section of violins, maybe the second section of violins, to play piano, which means quieter in Italian. Or when you look at your sheet music, you'll see a place that'll say all of a sudden piano or pianissimo. So mutes are designed to take a small percentage of the sound and just tamp it down a little bit. And that mute generally attaches to this part of the violin. This is called the bridge. And there's 2 or 3 different kinds of rubber mutes, and we're going to go into each one. But typically they attach behind the bridge, and I'll show you how to do that in just a second. All right. So here you see 4 different kinds of mutes. They're all made of rubber. You have the 1-hole mute, the 2-hole mute. Those are both torque mutes. You have the sliding mute, which is called a Spectre mute, and then you have the Beck magnetic mute. And they all perform the same function, but for the convenience of the player, they have slightly different qualities to them. So we're going to start with the single-hole mute. You'll notice that it has a very slight cut to it, a little slice there. Okay? And this mute is one that would stay on your violin even when you're not using it to mute the instrument. That's true actually of all of these. So typically what happens is we just take that little split and we're going to push it down right over the D string, that would be the 3rd string here, behind the bridge. And when you're not playing, it can just sit there on the string. It doesn't affect the sound at all, and it doesn't get lost. When it's time to put the mute on, you're going to lift it just gently, slide it up, and put it right down on the bridge like that. Okay, I'm going to show you that one more time. It's staying down here sort of parked on the D string, and when it's time to use it as a mute, you're going to lift it gently, slide it up, and push down on the bridge, and then it will quiet the instrument. It only quiets it about 5 to 10%, but when you have several instruments at once, it's noticeable in the orchestra. So that's a single-hole mute. So we're going to work with this. This is the Spectre mute, and it's a sliding type of mute. Once again, when it's not in use, it lives right here back behind the bridge, between the bridge and the tailpiece on these 2 strings. It's wedged in between the D and the A string on the violin, and it can just sit there. It won't buzz or cause any trouble. And when it's time to use the mute, you just give it a push, and it moves up and then seats itself on the top of the bridge, and that'll again quiet the instrument. All right, now this is a Beck magnetic mute. It's very similar to the Torque 2-hole mute, but you'll notice that the slots in it are open, which means that it has the potential of falling off the instrument. And the way they compensate for that is they have this little clip. Now the clip is going to fit down on your tailpiece like this, and it's just going to stay there. And that way, when you put the mute on your violin, again, between the D and the A string, the magnet inside it is going to be attracted to the clip, and it just sits there and it doesn't rattle. It's just another way of parking the mute so it doesn't make any noise. And once again, when it's time to use it to make your violin quiet, you just slide it up gently and push it down on the top of the bridge like that. I'm Dalton Potter, and that's how you mute your violin.